All right, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, man. Hang with Beat Drop Podcast, episode 116. We are here, man. What is the deal? Apologize for not having an episode last week. I'm gonna explain why I didn't have an episode, okay? But first off, I want to say what's up. How you guys doing? Hopefully everybody's doing great. I know this episode comes out on Valentine's Day, so hopefully, if you're alone and you need love, love yourself. And if you're with somebody, love yourself and love that person. And if you wanna love a lot of people, just show love to a lot of people, man. Let's be a good person today. You know what I mean? I know right now there's a lot of pressures in Valentine's Day for a lot of couples or all this stuff. So let's just show good love to everybody, and most importantly, let's love ourselves, and most importantly, love God. You feel me? Love God. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep the episode short. I gotta take care of a few things today. But man, my hat feels like it's suffocating. Well, I'm letting my hair grow out, so every hat feels super tight. But I mean, I look bomb, so gotta keep it going. Well, let's get to it. First off, happy day. And so last week I didn't have an episode, man. So I'm explaining why I didn't have an episode. So, it's a trip, man. I feel like sometimes in your life you're gonna face so much stuff in just one time. I feel like sometimes it could be like one moment, all these, can you capture it? Now, one moment you have all these things just kind of coming at one time. And so my son's been sick, right? He's been sick back and forth, but this time um we were kind of concerned because he's had this cough, but this like lingering cough, and he wasn't doing too well, man. And this was Monday of of last week. So what had happened was we were like, yo, you know what? Like, I think he's gonna have to go to urgent care because he's been having this. He just wasn't well, man. Like, he wasn't good. And obviously it's tough, man. You trying to take care of your situations, you're trying to take care of life, family, everything. And a moment like this it just kind of puts perspective, and it just puts you on the present, right? Like, no matter what you're going through, whether it's a new job opportunity, whether it's other people, whether it's you trying to have your career, whatever it is, this is one of those moments where you got to be in the present. You just got to stay like, okay, like, let me focus right now, let me put my dad cap on and see what's going on. So we took him to urgent care on Monday, and he wasn't doing good, man. Like, it was pretty tough, man. I'm not going front. And so we found out that he was having breathing problems. He had like they told us it was possibly could be asthma. They checked, we were there for a couple of hours, and they did like this whole treatment for him to breathe, because I guess, well, we didn't know. And we were just like, damn, like, we even felt kind of bad, because we were like, yo, that's something that as a parent you want to be on. And um he has problems breathing, so like for many years we didn't know that he was having complications of sustaining himself with the, whether it's like working out, whatever. He runs out of breath quickly, and the doctor saw that there was like mucus and all this stuff blocking his tubes, like, for him to breathe. So they did all this treatment, and they gave him medicine, and he didn't go to school for the whole week. So Lil Man hasn't really even been to school this year at all. Like, he's this whole week I've been with him. And they gave us like antibiotics, and then on Friday he went for like a checkup, and they say he has is it ammonia, yeah. So it's like, it's pretty tough, man, because we haven't been able to really like play like that outside. We just been going on like little walks, but I guess he's even had his allergies flare up. So it was just the whole thing, man. But it's one of those where you just gotta trust the process. And I'm just glad that he's okay. I'm glad that the medicine has been helping him out a lot. And it's crazy, because when I was talking to my therapist, I was explaining my stuff. And then she said it, she's like, I feel like God's telling you to be there with your son at this moment. And I'm like, yeah, like, that's a beautiful way of seeing it. Sometimes you got to see different perspectives in certain situations. So right now we've been hanging out, we've been good. And he goes to school on Valentine's Day back. So Hopefully, he gets some chocolate so I could, get some candy. But he's great, man. But I just didn't feel like I had the proper energy to do an episode. Like, I don't want to be in here and then like he's not doing well. My mind's just like I feel like it's bigger. It's bigger than what it is than for me to just do an episode. You feel me? So yeah, so that's why I didn't do an episode last week. But thank God he's doing a lot better. Tomorrow's his first day of school, and in about 2 weeks, something like that. And I'm just glad that we made the decision of taking the urgent care and we didn't just leave it by itself. Um, so yeah, and there was a verse that I wanted to share, and like I said, I don't want to, make the episode so long, but there was a verse that I kept thinking about, and it's I believe it was Proverbs, but I forgot the exact verse, but it was trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. And I feel like I'm always thinking about that verse. I think that's super impactful for me because I think there's a lot of stuff that happens in life that you don't understand. You don't you just leave yourself like, you say, why is this happening? How is this happening? Why now? Or why is this going to happen in the future? You have all these questions. And I'm a person that always wants to like. I feel like I'm like, yo, I need to know what's going. You know what I mean? And I feel like this was one of those situations where you just gotta trust God, right? Like I think, I know we live in a time where it sounds cliche, where people are like, yo, trust God, but there's moments in your life where you're gonna get rattled. You feel me? Life's gonna throw a storm at you, and you gotta know how you're gonna come out of that. And I feel like you gotta trust God, and sometimes you don't understand why things happen. You don't understand why situations are arising, but I always feel like when you trust God, you find clarity in a lot of things. And I know I spoke about it last time, but it's like, yo, how does God talk to you, and this and that. And that's been my biggest thing. And something that my therapist said, and I posted my story a few days, like a week ago, and I feel like a lot of people liked it. um I just want to share with you guys. All right. So it's, she told me something along these lines. And it's sometimes you need to just sit in stillness with God and don't try to fill your life with so much stuff and leave space for God to talk to you. You could be talking so much rather than to take a moment to hear what God's telling you. And it's all in God's timing. I thought that was extremely, extremely powerful. When she told me that, I was like, man, I need to write that down. I can't forget that. And I think sometimes, we don't just stay in stillness with God. I think I was even listening to like a Jay Shetty interview. I think it was with Tom, and he was like that we rather get like shocked, right? Like we don't want to be by ourselves. And I think for myself, you always want to fill your life with something, right? Like let's say it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever day it is, and there's nothing going on. You just, I need to figure something out. Like I need to, and it's like I've come to an understanding with myself that God talks to you all throughout the day. And sometimes you need to find a moment of stillness and just take a moment and just be like, why is God telling me this? Why is this happening? And I thought that was super, super powerful, man, because I think we live in the world where we can't sit still, right? Like we always are looking at our phones, or we're always looking for something, or if we got to put the music on. I know I'm guilty of that. When I'm eating, I need to hear music, or I need to put this, I need background. It's like we always need something. Like we always need to feel like we're not alone. And I think when you are sitting still and you just take a moment to reflect what's going on, this and that, there's so much clarity that happens when you take that moment for yourself. And I thought that was super powerful. And when my therapist shared that with me, I was like, man, I really want to share that with you guys, because there's a lot of times where my therapist tells me things and I'm like, man, I can't wait to share that with you guys, because if it's helping me, I'm hoping it could possibly help you guys too. You feel me? So I thought that was super powerful, man. I think you know, in life, man, you're always gonna if you look at a situation with the glass half full rather than half empty, I think you're gonna learn so much about how you see things, and you could learn so much lessons throughout life. And I think you know, for myself, me being a 29-year-old amazing male, um, I feel like every day I'm always learning something about myself, about people, And I think when I am committed to finding these answers, when I'm committed to be in constant prayer and worship, things open up that I think sometimes you as an individual could be blind to see. And I think sometimes it's great to really appreciate God's work and God's timing. Um, I'm a person that always that I always get frustrated with God's timing. I'm not even going front. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, I prayed, I want this right now, or I prayed, give me perspective. What does this mean? What does that mean? I'm such an impatient dude. Like when I'm in line, I'm like, come on, man. Like I'm so impatient, and I think God sometimes like, all right, fam, you're gonna have to be patient in this situation, that situation, this situation, and that situation. And I think you learn so much about yourself when you see life in that perspective. I know I come in here and we just talk about random stuff, but I think I'm hoping that I'm able to give you guys just stuff that has been, like I said earlier, like that's been helping me. And before we jump out of here, yesterday I was having a conversation and with a friend, and something that really stood out to me was when I was told that people are not perfect. Only God is perfect. And I know I've always thought about that, like, to have empathy for people. I don't know, whoever's listening right now, if you could be disappointed in people, you could be disappointed in yourself for trusting people, whatever the case might be. I encourage you to take a moment and know that nobody's perfect and we're not perfect. I always, say that I'm a flawed man who's trying to become better. And I think the moment we see life like that, we take off these pressures in ourselves and in people, because um, if not, we're always going to end up disappointed, you know, because I think that I'm sure I've disappointed people various of times because I'm not perfect. And I just wanted to share that with you, because when I was told that yesterday, I was like, man, like that was really impactful for me, because you know I feel like sometimes we set these standards on people and ourselves, and sometimes we got to ask ourselves, are they really realistic? You know, why are we putting these standards on people? We're imperfect. Jesus died for us because we weren't perfect. You feel me? So I think that's the time when you sit in stillness, when you get perspective, you know. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I feel like you know, as I get older, I feel like it's so crazy because you know how like when you talk to older people when you were young, you would be like, you don't get it. But like, you get older, and I feel like there's these blinds that tend to open up that you were blinded to. That's a bar. I like that. But as you get older, you start to understand what matters in your life. You understand what is important and what is not just temporary. You feel me? So for me, my goals and my purpose is to figure out always how to become better. Because if I'm better in how I talk to myself, if I'm better into the simplicity of what I want in life, that's going to translate into everything else. You feel me? Not to just always want materialistic things, not to always want outside affirmation. Like, it's all these things that every day I'm trying to figure out always, like, how can I become better? Because that not does that only help me as a father, it helps me just as a person, as a man of faith. Um so yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know today's episode was just all over the place, but um like I said, I love talking. So, if you guys give me a microphone, I will not be quiet. Hopefully you guys are doing great, man. Hopefully you guys are doing good. And I appreciated everyone that reached out to me when I posted about Jacob. Um, I think that's what's, we use social media for, right? For how can we use it for the good and not for the bad? And I think when I posted my son and I was just like, yo, man, I would appreciate any good energy. Everybody that reached out, it was just like, hey, man, good. And I was just like, man, like that's what life's all about, is for being there for other people. And I said that earlier. I mean, I said that in another episode, like just being there for other people. I'm just trying to see how can I become better every single day, and how can I have good emotions, because I hope that when you see me and you're around me, you have this energy of trying to become better and help each other out. You know what I mean? Like, I was watching a service, and like, I remember he said something along the lines of like, when was the last time somebody told you, pray for me? And I thought about that, and I was like, damn, like, that's impactful, right? Because I feel like when you think about a pastor, you think about someone, you think like, hey, pray for me, because you feel like they have this energy of, I don't know how to explain it, but like, you feel like they have this private line with God, because they have faster access. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, damn, like, I want to make sure that I'm a person that when you're around, you're like, hey man, pray for me, or like, hey man, like, give me good energy, And I feel like if that's what God has me here in this world, then I'm all for it. I'm all for God's purpose for me. You feel me? Those are bars. You see how I even spoke? Let me get a little coffee real quick. I think we end the episode like that. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys, man. And if you guys notice, I've been using the word love more. I was a person that never really said love, but like I said, I'm getting older. I'm getting wiser. You feel me? You know, and now it's the what would Jesus do? You know, I'm talking a lot. I love talking. So appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go be with Jacob. He didn't go to school today, and I gotta take care of things. But love you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. And if you like the episode, share it with a friend. Appreciate the repost. Appreciate people that hit me up on the DMs. That sounded funny. On the DMs for good things. All right. No bad things. I appreciate golly DMs. You feel me? All right, man. Appreciate you guys. Y'all take care of yourselves.